at this, folks, this isn't life in action. There is my darling shed. That shed belonged to tenants who lived here 6 years ago, and they moved out, and they left their apartment a mess, and they left the shed as a mess. I was 2 weeks cleaning it out. I put things up onto the curb, and you know what? Everything was taken, folks, except one tarp. I think one tarp wasn't taken. And we cleaned out their mess for day after day after day. This is a chat with Glendora. We're doing 2 cameras today. Not that we're doing 2 different shots. The shot is the same, but one camera is for Queens. Queens requires the program be sent to them on SD card. And SD card, I don't know how to edit. It has to be a straight run. You know what it has to be, folks? It has to be what television was when it started in 1949. Entirely live. There was no such thing as tape. No such thing. You had one chance to get it right, and that was it. So Queens, you're going live, and then the other camera is for the other 69 TV stations who don't care. We send 35 of them on DVD disc through the United States Post Office, and we serve the other 35 TV stations on file transfer protocol, meaning it went over the computer. But I'm sad this morning because there's a death in our family. The computer died. So as soon as we finish these programs and do some other urgent business, we will go to Lloyd and see what is to be done about our Hewlett-Packard 7-year-old faithful partner. Whether he can be resuscitated, okay? What do you call that? When you breathe into somebody's mouth, what do you call that? Or whether we'll just go to Walmart and buy a new one. A new Hewlett-Packard. It will be a Hewlett-Packard, that's for sure. Well, Gregory, would you come and... I think I know the Bible passage. I was going to tell you. It's Romans 8:6. And it says, to be carnal is death. To be spiritual is life. Do we know what it means to be carnal? Yes, we do. Ego and selfishness. You think only of yourself. You can't get beyond it. It's just yourself. That's how tiny the world is. Do we know what it is to be spiritual and how? To help others. To be carnal is death. To be spiritual is life. Who said that? The Apostle Paul in the book of Romans on chapter 8, verse 6. To be carnal is death. To be spiritual is life. You little birdies are full of life. Now, carnal means what? Egotistical and selfish. You think only about yourself. Spiritual is what? You spend all your time taking life and helping others. I have a network. 5 people. And these people are experts at helping others. They don't do anything but all day long. They don't do anything but that with their whole lives. That would be Sue Casey and Pat Nichols and Sandy Blakeman and Maxine Bogash. And they are always helping others. They all get A's. Now, this that I'm telling you isn't anything new. I'm not teaching you anything because you know this. You know it deep down in your heart. You know why you know it deep down in your heart? because of the soul that's inside of you. The soul inside of you is the God inside of you. And it is not only contiguous with the God that's inside of me and inside of Gregory and inside of the people taking down the shed, but it's also continuous. Not also, it is continuous. We have to think of the oneness of God, the wholeness of God, the onlyness of God. Oneness, wholeness, and onlyness. What is God? It's all of us together. It's all of us working together, hand in hand, making the universe better. Making it go and making it grow. And that's our meditation and communication for this morning. Hello, Gregory.
Hello, good morning.
This is Gregory Charles Washburn. He is my acolyte. He is my acolyte. Now, the hymn for today, the song for today is To God be the glory, great things he hath done. So loved he the world, he gave us his Son, who offered his life an atonement for sin, and opened the life gate that all may come in. Praise the Lord, praise the Lord. Let the earth hear his voice. Praise the Lord, praise the Lord. Let the people rejoice. Oh, come to the Father through Jesus the Son, and give him the glory, great things he hath done. What is the word? What you've just heard and what you just know. And the thing with you is that your conscience has been telling you to go alone to a sanctuary for years and years and years, and you haven't done it. Because you're afraid you're going to have to give up something. Well, you're going to lose it anyway. Because that serpent isn't telling you the truth. It doesn't exist that way. The only way that you're going to get the wealth, the happiness, the joy, the love, the attainment, the peace that you want, the only way you're going to get it is through helping others. That is the only way. And I have to tell you quite frankly, you have to be vegan. You cannot allow this cruelty to these dear, sweet animals. You don't eat birds. You don't eat cows. You don't eat pigs. Why, that's a horrible thing. Chopped all up into bloody pieces. How can you do that? I'll tell you quite frankly. You have to be vegan. No animal products. Don't wear animals and don't eat them. Craig, will you throw me a joke?
Yeah, sure.
Let's see. Here, I'll catch it. Throw it to me. I think the first one is midget. Something about midget, right?
Yeah.
Toss it to me. See if I can catch it.
Catch it?
I missed it. Give me another try.
All right, so.
I got it.
Okay.
A midget fortune teller escaped from jail. The line in the newspaper, the headline in the newspaper was small, medium, at large. Okay, you got another one?
Yeah, what is, it's called, it says mistakes.
Oh, mistakes? Son, you have to learn from the mistakes of others. You simply don't have time to make them yourself. Okay, I'm ready for another one.
It's address card. Address card, it says.
Wait, let me hold on to that one. A man found an easy way to pay his bills. He made out a change of address card, and then he didn't move.
Then what is poverty?
Poverty? Throw it, honey. Poverty. There are some things that money can't buy. For instance, poverty. You need credit cards for that.
And Ford. Ford is the other one here we got.
Not all millionaires ride around in Cadillacs. Henry Ford, for instance.
This is hereditary. It says,
Yes. Poverty is hereditary. You get it from your children.
And then liquid assets. It says liquid assets.
Okay, through it. A man was asked, what is the state of your finances? His answer was, liquid assets. Everything is going down the drain.
Then there's a mind of her own, it says.
I have a mind of my own. Who else would want it?
It says Honda. Honda is one there. So.
Oh, wait a second, I dropped that one. Bill has a motorcycle. And when he goes out in the wintertime, he wears his long Honda wear. Oh, okay, leave that one on the ground. All right.
Then let's see, a happy ending. It says here. So.
A chat with Glendora always has a happy ending. Everybody's glad when it's over.
3D movies there.
3D movies often lack depth.
Piano tuner there.
Can you pick it up and throw it to me again? I missed it. The woman said to the man at the front door, I did not send for a piano tuner. And the man said, no ma'am, the neighbors did.
Alright, it says this one is it says sing prisoner. It says,
Oh, okay, I missed it. Went right over my shoulder. Would you go be?
sing prisoner.
Would you be so kind and go pick it up and give it to me? It went right over my shoulder. After the jokes, we're going to do our vocabulary, and after that, we'll do the hacks.
All right, so.
Right here, Greg.
All right, I just put it back in your hand there, so.
Oh, you're going to do that? Okay, you're going to throw it again? What was it?
It says sing a prisoner.
Oh, yeah. I sing like a prisoner. Behind 8 bars looking for the key.
Yeah, that's it. And let's see. This one is Brahms 6, Beethoven 2.
The musical score for the season. Brahms 6, Beethoven 2, and at the top of the 5th.
Yeah, I think that's it. Yeah. 14.
Thank you for doing this, Greg.
I think, yeah, that's it for the jokes. That's all I
Oh,
have for
okay.
the jokes.
How much time do we have? We have to watch it for Queens. It has to be exactly 28 minutes, 30 seconds.
Yeah, we've been on about 15 minutes.
Okay. Then let's do the words. The first word, Greg, I need help with this, is adjoin, and it means to be contiguous to be in contact with. What else, Greg?
To abut upon,
To abut upon.
and that's it. Yeah, to lie contiguous, to be in contact with, to abut upon.
Very
So it
nice.
says for adjoin.
Very nice.
Yeah, that's adjoin.
No, word number 122.
Let's see here. It's adjourn.
Adjourn. You can see right away what that means. It's a Latin word journ, which means day, and ad to. So you're going to add a day, you're going to put it off for another day. Adjourn. We have quite a lot of experience doing that. Never do today what you can put off until tomorrow.
That's it. Yeah, to defer to another day. Then it says dissolve.
To what, dear?
To defer to another day or dissolve.
To dissolve, yeah. Prorogue means something like that. It means to push it ahead to the journal. Maybe not a day, but maybe several. Who knows how long? Prorogue. Word 123 is adjudge.
Adjudge.
Adjudge. Listen to this definition. Greg, say it out loud, really loud.
A judge. To decide, determine, or pronounce judicially. To order or to decree.
Now, folks, you may go to court and you may be adjudged. You may get a judgment. But that will probably be a rubber stamp signature. Don't you give it any credit at all. It is null and void until that order is signed by a judge. You are not, what is it? Adjudged, decreed. Read it again, please.
To order or to decree.
You don't have an order, you don't have a decree. What's the rest of it? To order, decide, determine judicially.
To decide or determine or pronounce judicially.
It has not been decided. It has not been pronounced judicially. It's null and void. George McDermott, and down in Washington, D.C., has gone to 16 courts on that. It is not constitutional. You have not had a judge. You have not been a judge. Now the next one is like it. It's adjudicate. Read that one, please.
Okay. Adjudicate. To hear or try and determine judicially. To settle by judicial decree.
So if your order is not signed by a judge, if it's rubber stamped, it has not been decided, and it has not been tried, and it has not been determined judicially. And then I think the last word is what? Number 125.
This is adjunct.
Adjunct. Oh, that's a good word. Would you be so kind as to read that to us?
Yeah, it says something joined or added to another thing. A person joined to another in some duty or service. A colleague or associate.
Okie dokie.
Yeah, adjunct. Something joined or added to another thing. A person joined to another in some duty or service as a colleague or associate.
Yeah. Okay. Well, folks, you've done your duty today. You've done your meditation. You've done your Bible study. You've done your hymn. And you've done your jokes. And you've done your words. Now we're going to do the hats. These are hats 31 to 40. Oh, by the way, I have to tell you about the announcement that's coming up on Channel 10, Albany. This is broadcast TV, not cable TV. It'll be the last week of this month, June. It'll be the 25th, the 26th, 27th, 28th, and the 29th. And it's vegan too. And I'll do it for you. It's 30 seconds. It costs, 5 of them cost $1,000. Hi folks, computers are in the Bible. Eve said to Adam, do you want an apple too? The next time you go to the supermarket, bypass the meat counter, go to the frozen food cases, load up your grocery cart with veggie meats, chicken, turkey, hamburger, ham, 90 years old, no doctors, no medicine, and my cat is vegan too. Greg, tell them about the last 3 seconds of the commercial.
The last 3 seconds, the commercial, the last few seconds, it shows Glendora's cat, .com. .com cat is at the end of the show, on the commercial. And she looks pretty good.
She's beautiful. And she's looking up. And you know what she's doing. She's asking for her vegan kibble. Oh, you gotta see .com. Okay, now this hat came from the state of Maine. And it's very, very fancy and very expensive. And it was from my nephew Stephen and his wife Terry. And one woman, she went gaga about this hat. But it's not for me. First of all, it's a downer. It's going down instead of up. And then it's black. And that just doesn't go with my complexion. Oh, looky, folks, a purple fedora. I asked on one TV show last week, does anybody know any songs about a hat? And Wayne Collins, who was a walking encyclopedia, he's really a Wikipedia, he called and said yes. Johnny Fedora and Alice Bluebonnet. They were hats and they were on display in a department store. And they fell in love. And somebody came and bought Johnny Fedora, and a woman came and bought Alice Bluebonnet. And Johnny Fedora spent the rest of his life trying to find Alice Bluebonnet. And it's a song put out by the Andrews sisters. Do you want to guess what year? You're very good with things in the past in show business. Do you want to guess what year that song came out?
Oh, maybe in the late 40s.
You're
think,
good?
maybe,
You're good? Can you come in closer?
Like 1946.
Good for you, Gregory. You get an A+.
Well, anyways, it's pretty
Now
good.
Excuse me, go ahead.
Before my time, but
Yeah, how do you
before
know
my
all those
time,
things, Greg?
well, I just try to figure out history. Like to hear about history, and I used to watch old movies and all that. So.
Oh, okay. Would that be history only of show business or all history?
Well, like all different histories. But I used to watch old movies and the Andrews sisters movies and all that, and they were big during the World War II and
Yes.
at that time.
That's right, Greg.
They were big supporting the troops and everything. So.
And speaking of World War II, D-Day was yesterday, June the 6th. June the 6th, 1944, D-Day. The whole First Army sat in the English Channel. And why the Germans couldn't figure out that there was going to be an attack is pretty hard. But the German general, what was his name? What's the famous German general? Rommel.
Yeah, I don't know.
He was having a birthday party, I think. This is as the story goes. I have no personal knowledge of that. But my husband, Franklin Fuller Buell, my my connubial joy and my conjugal bliss for 48 years was sitting in the English Channel on D-Day. Originally, folks, it was supposed to be June 4th, but the weather was impossible. And all the meteorologists got together and told all the generals that the weather was not going to improve. And so it was Eisenhower who cast the 13th vote to say, go ahead on June the 6th. What a horrible thing. Walking right into guns. What a terrible, terrible thing. And my husband said if they had told him on June the 6th, 1944, that war would be over in a year, he would never have believed it. But it was. It was over 3 days short. It was over June 3rd, Victory in Europe Day, VE Day. This hat also comes from the state of Maine, and it came from an assignment shop. And it has so much personality. It's a very, very good hat for October, the orange color. Okay. Yellow. You wonder where the yellow went when you brush your teeth with Pepsodent. This hat, I'm going to ask Gregory to read it to you. People stand and look at your head and read it to you. Why do I wear hats? It gives you something to look at other than my face. Read those pins, Gregory, to our friends, would you?
All right. There's various pins in the hat, and this one says shows a picture of a cow. It says vegan on it.
Is that vegan?
And this one here says the black one. It says humans aren't the only species on Earth. We just act like it.
Humans are not the only species on Earth. We just act like it.
Yeah. And it says here this heart-shaped one. It says have a heart, and it says
have a heart.
No fur. It's blocked out fur.
No fur.
It says
no honey.
The fun for animals, and
fun for animals.
The fund for animals. It says.
Oh, really?
And this one here says teach respect for the earth and all living creatures.
Excellent.
This one says eat beans, and not beings.
Eat beans and not beings.
That's what it says. And then there's one here for tofurkey hot dogs.
Tofurkey hot dogs.
Not
the best. The best hot dog is the leanie. It's frozen and it's made by Worthington Foods. You have to get it at a health food store or at the Seventh-day Adventist Church. Leanies. It's the best vegetarian hot dog.
And it says, it shows a picture of a pig, and it says that this little piggy stayed home.
Yeah, this little piggy stayed home.
So, yeah, tofurkey.
How can you do that to little darling?
And then on the top it has there's one from the Albany Vegetarian Network on the top.
Yeah,
there.
great. Tell the people, first of all, how much time do we have there on Queens?
Oh, well, we got, let's see. Oh, we got, well, we're coming up pretty quick. Really about a minute or so.
A minute or so?
Yeah.
Let me finish these hats. And then while I'm doing the hats, dear, will you tell the folks, don't, Ray.
Oh, sure.
Will you tell the folks what that wonderful thing that you did Saturday?
Oh, sure. Saturday, quick.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, quick. I'll just say that I went to the Albany Vegetarian Network. They put a Veggie Fest on in Albany at the Polish Community Center, and I went to that with a camera, and I recorded a show, and I interviewed attendees at the Veggie Fest, and they explained why they were there and what they were doing and what products they have, and it was very, very enjoyable. It was very, very well attended. Yeah.
You think maybe thousands?
There was, yeah, at least I'd say like at least between 1,000 and 2,000 people were there. At least they may be more than that. I'm not quite sure, but
Thank you for doing that,
there's
Greg.
a lot of people there. So.
What's your watch say, please?
Oh, it's on about. We've been on about. We're on like 32 minutes right now.
Okay, we've got 1 minute. We said 33 or 34. We have 1 minute. I'm going to pray for you. Listen carefully. I'm going to pray for you. People say, Glendora, pray for me. This is what I pray for you. That you go to your sanctuary and that you listen to the God that's inside of you. And you will find the answer to everything. And you will find all of the wealth and peace that you seek and have always sought. I tell you again, this is nothing I'm teaching you. You know it. I'm just reminding you. And so, in final word, I say, may the God of peace himself sanctify you through and through, completely. May the God of peace himself sanctify you completely through and through.